Sacrifices. We all make them in our lives. Depending on what kind of person you are, you're willing to make smaller or greater sacrifices. Religiously or spiritually, we often are willing to sacrifice habits, addictions, or sexual behavior that we want to do, but we simply don't because we're willing to make that sacrifice for the spiritual attunement we seek. And in religion, in a lot of religions, a lot of sects and a lot of religions, the sacrifices are great, and you're very confined. You even sacrifice your ability to say, "I don't want to do that," and these sacrifices are meaningless unless, or at least almost meaningless, unless you are doing so from a point of fearlessness and not forced to. If a sacrifice is basically made null and void if you are forced to make it, or if you are pressured to the point where it is so much easier to do that than try to resist. And why would you resist anyway? If you were raised that way, if this is a sacrifice that basically you assume is a part of your reality, then why wouldn't you? I don't blame people at all for sacrificing their individuality if they didn't know that they could be separate, that they could be fulfilled as an individual. But we have to mitigate our sacrifices if we aren't making them for the right reasons, or if we're making them because they're easier than other sacrifices. If we're forced to make them, we have to realize that, okay, we have to get out from under the thumb of whoever has their thumb on us. And then if we want to make the sacrifices, let's make them, because then that's when they'll mean something. And we also have to mitigate how we choose to look at reality. The best option is to study all religions, all spiritualities, at least most of them. Major ones. Start out with the major ones. Just get some basic books on the major religions from non-biased sources. Don't get a Christian book about Hinduism or something like that. I've seen plenty of those for multiple different religions, either Christian or Islam or Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, on other religions, and it doesn't give you the authenticity that you need to make a completely individual decision. And once you learn that, also get some basic books on science. A book written by an atheist on how maybe God doesn't exist, or maybe there's a philosophy that's better than religion. Just get books, read, research, talk to people, talk to saintly people, talk to madmen, talk to regular people, talk to friends, family. Try to get an idea of what reality is. And then once you have a firm grasp, or at least a little bit of a grasp, on what you think reality is, then make those sacrifices that you think are necessary. That's when they mean so much more. That's when they mean you are actually sacrificing as an individual, whether it's sacrificing some kind of drug, alcohol, sex, social behavior, wearing certain clothes that you normally wouldn't wear, or sacrificing your time out of the day. Whatever it might be, whatever sacrifice it is, you have to make it as an individual. You have to make it in a free environment for it to matter and for it to be significant. Because the forces that you're sacrificing in front of, or for, or to, the forces, or even if it's just the God within that we're all a part of, even if it's the self, the soul, if you're making these sacrifices, these forces only recognize sacrifices. Well, I can't say without without any hesitation. There's still some hesitation because I don't know everything. But in my idea of all the forces that you make sacrifices to, they value sacrifices that you make completely by your own choice. And maybe sacrifices that are made when you're under somebody's thumb, maybe those have some value, but they're not nearly as valuable as those you make as an individual person. So figure out reality. Science, religion, spirituality, research, psychology. Well, research all of those I mentioned. Research isn't really its own thing unless you want to get into a completely different topic than what I'm talking about. But research, psychology, religion, spirituality, and science. and just different ideas about the universe and reality. Just research. Get a good idea. Think hard about it. Connect dots. Write papers for yourself. Make journals. Get as close to truth as you as an individual can see it, and this matters. Learn how you see it as an individual, and then you're more likely to find the truth that you were meant to follow, in my opinion. This is all just my opinion. Then sacrifices can be so much better. They can be great. They can make you feel good. They can be very important. They can be valuable to the universe, to God. That's when they're important. So that's all I got to say about sacrifices. Make them with freedom and knowledge and understanding of that knowledge. Until you understand the knowledge, till you're free to make the sacrifices on your own as an individual, they're lesser sacrifices. Please try and understand and try to be free. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit that thumbs up down there if you like this, and I would love some more subscribers. Thank you.